Could Prince Harry be in line for shock new job? It's not what you think. Prince Harry has been touted for a shock job change as Jeremy Hunt prepares to invite business leaders and prominent public figures to become British ambassadors in a bid to boost post-Brexit trade. The Foreign Secretary will speak at the Policy Exchange think tank this evening and unveil plans to create nearly 1,000 new diplomatic jobs for those outside the civil service, both within the UK and abroad. Many of the top roles will be open to non-civil servants, adopting a US-style model for the UK's diplomatic service. Jeremy Hunt is expected to announce the radical departure in a bid to boost underrepresented groups and engage individuals beyond the political class. He will say, "The strength of our network is its professionalism, which has given us what I believe is the finest diplomatic service in the world. But we must never close our eyes to the approaches and skills of other industries." The news has been welcomed by Tom Tugendhat, chair of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, who suggested even the likes of Prince Harry could be considered for a new role. He said, "You could have Prince Harry as ambassador to Washington or David Cameron in Shanghai, just as an example, doing the ambassadorial role while someone else is the professional head of mission." The Foreign Secretary is attempting to boost the profile of the UK's diplomatic service, as the country gears up to strike vital new trade deals following Brexit in March 2019. The radical new move will involve establishing the largest diplomatic network in a generation, which will feature 335 new diplomatic roles abroad, 328 in London, and 329 locally engaged staff overseas. Similar tactics have long been deployed by U.S. presidents where they appoint political allies to top diplomatic jobs in some of the world's biggest cities. The most notable recent example of this is Donald Trump appointing Woody Johnson, the billionaire businessman and owner of the New York Jets American football team, as the U.S. ambassador to London. Ed Llewellyn, the former chief of staff to David Cameron, is currently the UK's ambassador to Paris. Previous political appointees include Paul Boateng, the former Labour MP and Chief Secretary to the Treasury who was High Commissioner to South Africa from 2005 until 2009, and Lord Alistair Goodlad, the ex-Conservative MP and Shadow Secretary of State for International Development who served in the same role to Australia from 2000 until 2005. But Mr. Hunt's plans have been questioned, with Lord Peter Ricketts, former permanent secretary at the Foreign Office, hoping the initiative is not the thin edge of the wedge. He said, "An ambassador is far more than just a salesman for Britain. The cultures are different, the skills you bring from business don't always work in the public sector, and what signal does this send out about the government's view of the professionalism of FCO staff?" He added, "If they are competing against internal candidates to see who is most suitable, that would be good. If it becomes a case of ministers giving people offers without much due process, that would be a blow to morale." The Foreign Secretary's allies defended the scheme, claiming it was not a criticism against the quality of current civil servants, but senior business figures with specific knowledge of a country could add new direction and expertise to the diplomatic service. One said, "We are talking here about a top-end scheme aimed at top-end CEOs in relation to some of the top jobs." But Dave Penman, General Secretary of the FDA, the trade union representing managers and professionals in public service, warned the move was a worrying development. He said, "Diplomats are made, not born, and the UK's interests are best served by a professional diplomatic service."